Hello, welcome back to a very quick video. I'm actually really excited about this one. I have made a fully autonomous petroleum boiler. So boiling crude oil into petroleum. So for those of you that might be unaware, or those of you that didn't play this game many moons ago, we used to be able to boil crude oil straight into petroleum. And that was all well and good. We could get petroleum, and then if we wanted to, we could boil petroleum into natural gas. And it was just a three-step process. They changed it a little while ago where now when we boil petroleum, we end up getting sour gas. And sour gas then needs to be cooled and condensed and then warmed, and then you get natural gas. Well, this is sort of just a petroleum boiler today. What I'm trying to do here is heat up my crude oil to the point where it boils into petroleum and then gets dumped away and pumped to wherever you want it. And I've just got a big massive material up here, which I'll explain in a minute. So what we've basically got in this room, we have a crude oil feed down here. And what we're going to do, we're going to top up the build as and when it needs it via this liquid shutoff. And this is just on a little bit of automation, literally a hydro sensor set to below 150 kilos connected to our liquid shutoff. Now what we've got in the room is a couple of aquatuners. And these aquatuners are set up in line, so the feed will come down here. We've got some super coolant in the pipe that's going through a little radiator. This is just signifying maybe you're cooling your base, maybe you're cooling down something, you know, in the space biome, whatever. This could be cooling your entire base, technically, this loop. All right, cooling some water, some plants, anything. But what it basically does, the super coolant's coming down in this direction. It hits this aquatuner, and unless this pipe sensor tells it otherwise, it's going to pass through this aquatuner into the next one and on its way, and then it just goes through the loop. If this pipe sensor here detects that the temperature of the supercoolant is going too cold, and I don't want to freeze it any, I don't want to go any lower, it will bypass, and it bypasses the same way we normally do. It straight piece of pipe into a bridge, and then bridges into the output of the feed, and this just allows the liquid to circulate. All right. Beauty of this is that it keeps the flow going even when the aquatuners are toggled off, and the aquatuner automation is pretty simple. I'll just explain this now. We've got one of the aquatuners. The first aquatuner in line needs to be connected. The other one doesn't need to, because that's the slave to this one, sort of thing. This pipe sensor here, the thermo sensor, goes to an AND gate. And this AND gate also has another connection over here, which is a hydro sensor. Now in this little chamber, we've got some of the new supercoolant. And one of the interesting properties of supercoolant that I noticed is that it evaporates at 436.9 degrees. So the problem we used to have with these boilers is that we'd cook too far and the petroleum would get too hot and then it balls the whole thing up. Well, with this evaporating at 436.9 degrees, I've used a hydro sensor in here and a little bit of supercoolant. There's only a few grams in here, 3,000 grams in each tile. And what that basically means is when this oil or the petroleum reaches the right temperature of about 438 degrees, it will boil, and the hydro sensor that's currently looking for a liquid reading, if you like, a pressure in front of it in a liquid form of 2 kilos, this will toggle off. And what that will then do is flip this signal. This sends a signal to my door to open up a little mechanized airlock down here, and it also will toggle off the aquatuner as well. Because if this is boiled, I don't need any more heat off my aquatuners. We're using the aquatuners to boil our petroleum. All right, and then as I say, the door will open, petroleum gets dumped in here, and away we go. So if I unpause this, we're probably pretty close to boiling. So yeah, there we go. So what's just happened? This tile of supercoolant has now boiled, so it's now in gaseous form. Okay, and this tile is going to boil in just a second, and you can see what happens on the automation. When it boils. There we go. So what that's now going to do, it's toggled this signal off, our aquatuners are now off, and in a short second this will open and our petroleum will dump into here. Boop. At which point this hydro sensor over here is going to notice that the flow has dropped, the amount of pressure in the room has dropped, and it's going to start pumping in more crude oil. And that crude oil is then going to boil. So what we're basically doing, we're creating petroleum at 400 odd degrees 440 degrees, and this will continue now just to pump through like this. The room is hot enough to keep boiling this oil as soon as it hits this plate. Now eventually, as it's just happened now, our supercoolant is going to liquefy again. It's going to condense, sorry. It's going to turn into its liquid form, sit on top of the hydrosensor, which will toggle the automation back on. And it's just going to keep doing this now. It's going to keep cycling. More petroleum will be cooked in the room. And then again, once this boils again, this door will open and pump it away. I'm really happy with this. It's a really small little compact build. I am really pleased with it. There's been lots of people doing other boilers. Petroleum boilers have been a hot topic, so to speak. God, that was horrible. Petroleum boilers have been a commonplace on the forums for a long time. A lot of people doing magma boilers. Now that we've got these new materials, we can play with some of the techniques. And this is the first time I've seen this, so I'm hoping it's interesting to you all. As I say, automation, incredibly simple. One hydrosensor to our oil feed. We've got a hydrosensor in our supercoolant, and we've got a pipe sensor on the actual pipe to the aquatuner. I don't think it gets much easier than that. As I say, I've powered this with heavy watt wire, so the heavy watt wire comes in and powers our aquatuners, and then it's literally 250 watts for the rest of the power in the room. And yeah, it seems to be working absolutely beautifully. So I've no idea of throughputs. I don't know how much this is generating, but as you can see, we're getting, you know, quite a bit of petroleum coming from this. So I hope that helps. I've not come up with a corny name for it. I will just call it the Petroleum Boiler of Destiny. Yeah, any questions, let me know in the comments, or come and find me on Twitch. But yeah, much love. Take it easy. Bye-bye.